returning subscribers, and if you are new, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Ticia. So today this video is going to be one of the most serious videos that I've ever put out, and I've been wanting to record this video for a few days, but I haven't been able to do so because I've been sick. Still a little sick, but I am getting over it, and I feel better enough to, record. So yeah, the topic that I want to talk about today is self-love. And as you can tell, I clearly do not have any makeup on, and that's because I wanted to be as transparent as I possibly could with you guys. So that's the reason why I chose not to wear makeup in this video. And yes, so I want to talk about self-love. And this video is not dedicated to a specific group. This video is for anyone who's out there and don't love themselves, whether that be a girl, boy, women, man, whoever, everyone goes through this, and that's why I decided to make this video, so that it can touch, everyone who may be feeling this way. And throughout this video, I will be going through some things that happened to me in the past and giving a few examples. So from elementary all the way up until high school, I have been getting bullied, whether it was them putting their hands on me or it was, them saying really bad things about me that made me feel really bad about myself. I have been getting bullied. That's just something that I've been dealing with for a very long time. And I'm the kind of person where if you say something to me like that really hurts my feelings, I don't like to let that person see me sweat. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't like to let the other person see that they got the best of me. And that's just how I've always been. I'll laugh it off, or I'll just act like I didn't hear it. And a lot of the times I would just act like I didn't hear it. Now, I remember this one instance where I was more so in middle school, and of course this boy had this, this really negative comment to say or whatever about how the other girls were pretty and I was just like so ugly and blah 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 blah. And he said it in my face, and I'm just like, no, I didn't cry. No, I didn't do that, because like I said, I don't want that person to see me sweat. So I just laughed it off, and then, I'm like, haha, whatever, and just, went about my day. Of course, it bothered me like heck, and I was just quiet the whole day. Just, when I would come home, of course, I would either cry, or I had like this diary that I had, and it was pink, and my little pink Barbie diary, and I will never forget it. And whenever I was going through something, I would write in this diary like this, talk about how I felt, like how my whole day was, pretty much like, I did this, I did that, and so and so hurt my feelings, and I just feel like I want to cry and blah blah blah. So yeah, I would write in that diary every single day, because it was just like, when I was younger, it just seems like every single day it was always something, And I remember that when I used to get picked up from school at the end of the day and the ride home, I used to be so anxious to just go and write in my Barbie diary, because I just had so much built up inside, and I didn't want to cry at school, and I didn't want to, so I held all my frustration in, and I would just write in my diary. And that's kind of how I am now in a way, but I am working at trying to get better. I'm so used to just holding things in and just let it boil up to the point where I explode. And I never told anyone, so this is the first time that I've ever releasing this information. No one in my life knows about this, like, whatsoever. Whenever I was getting picked on, bullied or teased and stuff like that, I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't even tell my friends. You know what I mean? Because it was just so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, and I don't know. I don't know why I felt so embarrassed that I was getting teased. And as time went by and I entered into the high school phase, I remember I had this notebook. This is what started to build me up to, slowly start loving myself. This notebook it was pretty much like a diary, you know, like my Barbie diary, but instead I used to write in it. And like I would just write in this book whenever I felt sad and down and depressed. I would write in this book. And you know, for example, if two guys were talking mess about me, saying this and this and that about me that really hurted my feelings, you know, I would just go and sit down and I write in my book and I would, you know, talk about my feelings. And I always started it off with Dear God. I always started off with Dear God. And it would usually go something like this. Dear God, today I had cereal for breakfast. It was okay, but when I went to my first class, so-and-so said this about me and this is how it made me feel. And I don't know why this person said this about me because I've never said anything about them and I don't even know them. It would just go something like that. And I remember just writing my feelings. And when I wrote down my feelings, it made me feel so much better. As I was writing and talking about how I was feeling, it was like God was speaking to me as well. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, it was just me and God. Whenever I write in my little notebook, I always zoned out. I zoned out everybody, anybody around me, everybody was zoned out. It was just me and my notebook. And I would write in cursive, and I would also write backwards. Like I would write some of the words backwards so that, you know, if anyone ever came across, you know, this book, it would be kind of hard to read. And then also I write really, really small, so of course that would be another struggle. But yeah, my books always consisted of Dear God, you know, blah, 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 blah. And after I got done writing, I would feel so much better. Like I felt like so much had lifted off of my chest and I was a better person. I was just, you know, better mood and yeah, good. You know, that was my way of getting it out. You know, some people like to talk to people. Well, for me, it wasn't going to others and talking to them. This was my way of, you know, getting out the frustration and the hurt and all that. You know what I mean? It's not like I didn't have friends in high school that I, you know, couldn't talk to. I just preferred not to. I've always been the kind of person who, you know, is okay with being by myself and keeping things to myself. And I know it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, but that's just the kind of person I am, and I have been trying to improve things in my life. Yeah, it's not until after high school when I truly started to love myself. Yes, it wasn't until after then. And the things that helped me to better love myself and to realize that I am somebody and that was beautiful. For so long, you know, being teased from elementary all the way up until high school, and it's like you start to doubt yourself, you know. Well, I know I did, and I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't think I was worthy. I just thought I was just, I don't know, like I'm just this low self-esteem girl. It was bad. It was really, really bad, because as I started to get into relationships, you know, there were some guys that recognized that, you know, recognized that I was this broken girl who didn't love herself, and took straight advantage of that, you know, took advantage of that. And it sucks. So as I started getting a better relationship with God is when I started to love myself. When I started to realize that God loved me no matter what, God loved me. You couldn't tell me anything. You couldn't tell me anything. Like, I had this thinking, okay, well, if that person doesn't love me, well, God loves me. So if God loved me, then I must be something. You know what I mean? I must be something. And I would tell myself, you know, I had to start doing little things and telling myself that I was beautiful and just believing it, you know, because I was just torn down for so many years that I had to build myself back up. And when I realized that God loved me and I was somebody, that really started to, you know, shape me into being the person that I am now. When you study God's word, let me tell you, you become such a different person. I was so broken. It's not like I didn't know God back when I was elementary. Yes, I knew who God was. I knew, you know, ever since I was elementary, I knew who he was. But when I got out of high school, I started to build a closer relationship to him. That really helped me be the person that I am today. Okay, that helped me gain so much confidence in myself, and that helped me build, you know, my self-esteem up and realize that I am beautiful. As long as I know I'm beautiful and I feel it, then what everyone else has to say doesn't matter to me at all. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Because this is what you have to understand. People are always gonna have something negative to say. And that's something that, you know, I didn't get at the time. You know, I had to learn this. I had to learn that people in this world are always gonna have something negative to say. And if you love yourself, you won't even be worried about what that person is saying, because you know that you love yourself and you're okay with whatever they may be disagreeing about or, you know, making fun of you about. It doesn't matter what they say, you know, because you love yourself enough to be like, whatever, I don't care. Not even pay attention to all of that and let it affect you as a person. I used to be the person who always lived my life for others. I used to live my life for others. I used to, whenever I would get dressed and I would do my hair, I would think about, okay, what would other people think about me? Like, what would other people think about me? Like, I want to make sure my hair is perfect and I have the right outfit on, because what if they think this? Or if I wore something that was a little cute, and I'd be like, okay, well, I don't want them to think that I'm cute, like that I think I'm all that. And like, this is stuff that used to go through my mind, guys. Like, I didn't want to wear girly things because I didn't want people to think that I thought that I was cute. You know what I mean? I didn't want that type of attention. And then looking back on it, it's just like, what? Like, what? Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares what people think? You have to live your life for yourself. You can't worry about what other people think. Because let me tell you, when you try to live your life for others, you will be so down and depressed, and you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy when you try to live for someone else's approval, okay? You won't be happy. You know, when time goes by, you're going to end up being very resentful, okay? Very resentful and bitter, because you focus on living your life, one life that we only get for someone else's approval, when you should have just been focused on just being happy, loving yourself, and living your life, you know, whether someone else doesn't approve or not, you know. Who cares? It's not their life, it's yours. I was saying how, you know, at the time when I didn't love myself, guys would, you know, notice that and take advantage of that. Well, once I did start to love myself, I knew my value, you know what I mean? I knew what I was worth. I knew that I was beautiful. I loved who I was at that time. I loved my size. I was still skinny. I was always skinny, and I always had people talking about, oh, you need to gain weight, you need to be like this girl, you know, because her body is banging and you're just so skinny and blah, blah, blah. Well, after so much time, I finally got comfortable with, you know, my body and realized that I'm just gonna be skinny. Like, I can't gain no weight. I had 2 babies and I'm still skinny. Like, come on now. That's just what it is. I accepted that and I'm okay because I love myself. But yeah, you know, guys will say that, and of course I'm just like, well, if that's what you want, then you can go, you know what I mean? Because I am okay with myself. If you don't love yourself, how do you expect someone else to love you? Like, seriously, how do you expect someone else to love you? I dislike when people who don't love themselves try to get with someone and think that that's going to be the answer to all their problems, you know what I mean? And just, they're pretty much putting a band-aid on a wound. They think, okay, well, I don't love myself, and this is why, and I'm speaking on this because clearly this is something that I've done before, okay? Clearly, this is something I've done before. I didn't love myself, so I would go out there and I would try to find a man that would love me, that would give me the love that I didn't have for myself. And that is the big mistake that you can do when you try to go seek for a girl, a man to love you when you don't even love yourself. And when that person leaves, either it's for another woman or another man, whatever. When I was in that situation, I found myself in this worse of a place, you know? I was already bad to begin with, but once I added another person into my mess, I ended up in a worse situation. It was just bad. You know what I mean? You need to love yourself first before you try to go and find love. Okay, and that's the problem with a lot of people. Instead of worrying about a man or a woman, you need to focus on loving yourself, because once you love yourself, nobody can come and tell you about yourself. You know what you want, you know who you are. Therefore, if somebody comes in your life and they are completely against what you believe in yourself, you will recognize that and you will cut them off so quick. Versus if you don't love yourself, you don't even know who you are. And this person comes and they're saying this, and you eat it up, you swallow it and everything else, like, and it's not even what you really want. You just take anything. It's kind of like if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, and that's just what it is. But yeah, guys, it's just so important to love yourself, and I really feel so bad because there's just so many people in this world who just truly do not love themselves, and I hate to see that, you know? This is something that I went through for so many years. And yeah, guys, it's just so many people in this world who don't love themselves, and it really does bother me because, you know, this is something I went through for years, you know, not loving myself, and it finally feels good to be at the point where I don't care what anybody has to say about me because I'm comfortable in my own skin. You know what I mean? People are going to make comments, negative comments about you no matter what, and I don't care. You know, you can call me ugly 1,000 times, but guess what? I still think I'm beautiful. Whether you think it or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Your opinion does not matter about me, because what I feel is all that matters, and what God feels, you know? God is your only judge. Nobody else can judge you, you know? And you just have to stop caring. Like, I reiterate this so much because you have to stop caring what people think about you. You just have to stop doing it, because there are people in this world, believe it or not, people in this world, their sole purpose their sole purpose in life is just to get you down. They just want to see you down. They want to beat you down as bad as they can. They just want to see you down. Like, they're gonna, you know, come after you, you know? That's just what it is. And you have to know who you are, because when you know who you are, what they have to say, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. And if you're one of those people out there that don't love themselves, I will give you a few tips on how you can start getting to that point. I would highly recommend to number one is get a closer relationship to God. That right there is the key. That is the key. Like I said previously, once I started getting a better relationship with God, that made me 1,000 times better, okay? That helped me so much with getting the process started with loving myself. His word is powerful, powerful. And once you get a closer relationship to God, I'm telling you, a lot of the problems you think you have will eliminate itself. Number 2, inspirational quotes. There are so many things out there that you can find inspiration from. There's motivation speakers, there's books out there. You can even go to Google and read something positive, you know? Tell yourself something positive about yourself. Keep saying it. Keep saying it until you believe it. Don't be around people who are negative. You don't need negative Nancy's in your life. another thing I would suggest is talking to a psychologist. I know for a lot of insurances out there, it is covered. It is a covered benefit. Look into speaking with a psychiatrist and, you know, check with your insurance and see what is covered. But I know with a lot of insurances, they are covered. All in all, if you're looking for more options, then hey, reach out to me. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not, you know, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. All I can tell you is just my opinions. I know sometimes it's easier to just talk to a stranger, someone that you completely do not know. They don't know anything about your life, so they can't, you know, go in with that judgment about you. I know for me, it's easier to talk to someone I don't know versus talking to somebody that I do know. It's so weird, but that's just what it is, and that's how some people are. Is it's better to speak with a complete stranger that you don't know. But reach out to me. I will leave my email below. It will be strictly confidential. And then also for anyone who is watching this video and has went through a process where they didn't love themselves, or, you know, they have some tips or something that they can offer, please comment below and leave that. Leave any suggestions, some things that they can help in loving themselves, you know, just some advice. I definitely want this to be a community where we uplift each other. That's what I want my channel to be about, positivity and, you know, just coming together and uplifting each other. And if you have, you know, some tips or something or a story you want to share, please comment below if that's something that you want to share. But yeah, I definitely just want us to be more interactive, and yeah, so I feel so much better now that I got this video out, because it was just tugging at me for so long, and I just knew that this is something that I just really wanted to make a video about, because it was just so close to my heart, because it's something that I have went through, and I know that so many people in this world is going through now. And not loving yourself is a really big thing. It's a really big thing, and it plays a huge part in your life, okay? I hope that this video touched you in any way, and if it did, then I know I don't usually ask this, but please share it, you know? Just like it touched you, I wanted to touch someone else, you know? Because you just never know what the next person may be going through. So let's help each other out, and yeah, let's go ahead and start uplifting each other. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and you have